Oh, by the
Yes.
way, something completely different. Is Sort the only one who can heal?
Yes, because none of you.
in-
Yeah, none of you took the. None of you took the character who has a powerful healing spirit. So
Because
Yep.
in that case, I'm probably going to try to learn a little bit about herb lore and simple ways to fix things. Not permanently, but
that's probably a very
for
good
a while,
idea.
because
And there are plenty of people
yeah.
who here who are good at this and that you can learn from.
Great.
So, and since you're God,
I think it should help, right?
no, the goddess. What's that?
It's the woods woman, so it's
Correct.
goddess.
And so, plant is one of your runes. So,
Yes, I hoped it would
yeah,
help.
that it definitely does.
Do I have to
so-
roll for it?
No, I will simply start you with a new skill,
Okay.
and the new skill will begin at your intelligence, rounded to the nearest 10. So,
Better than nothing. What
correct.
do we call it?
Oh, we will just call it herb lore. I think is fine.
But I'm guessing even though you're out and about a lot, the ranger here, we
Yes, ma'am.
occasionally meet,
Oh yeah,
I guess, and talk.
I think that's absolutely clear.
Yes.
You are
I am
effectively
probably
a
go
yeah,
to
adventuring
show up
band.
to
Yeah.
And if you go
check
to the
on
temple,
you
it's
guys.
at least a day or so.
Yeah. Take a hike
Yeah.
up there.
And-
Take a hike.
Okay.
Yeah.
But and you probably told us that you've seen runes in the woods, stuff like that.
Yeah. I think all of this
Settlements.
information has
Yeah,
probably
right.
been shared.
I'm probably
quite easily.
going to show up every other day or something, but I
Should we-
prefer to go back, actually.
Maybe
Right,
ask
right.
around for like ancient artifacts, items that might be in family collections, stuff like that. They keep it for a keepsake, but they might not know what it is because it's kind of funny and fancy. We always had
Most
it.
of that kind of thing is going to be stuff that is after the Great Cataclysm.
Okay.
So it's old, but it is not
It's not
not
super old.
from that time.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a reason why you are looking after forbidden knowledge, or maybe just erased from memory and history kind of knowledge.
Yeah.
And so you can inquire in this way, but the result is not going to come. It will be what you expect.
Yeah.
Well, you remember you were from the Central Imperial area, and they didn't have knowledge,
No.
direct use of this stuff. So if they didn't, but then again, being out here in the outside in the outskirts, maybe that's a good point.
But I
Yeah.
was kind of thinking like looking at the locals,
Mm-hmm.
guessing the women might be the one that carrying like jewelry
Mm-hmm.
if they're fancy enough. If you see like reused like old coins, stuff like that, they just keep it because it's gold and silver.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Wear it around their neck or something like that.
Yeah,
Something that
yeah.
doesn't really fit in.
I completely,
our society.
I completely understand that. And at this point, it is these kinds of clues that has led you to this area in general.
Yeah, okay.
But exactly these kinds of clues. However, this particular area, you might have some luck with this. You might have some luck. Make a power times 5. Little bit of this. This is more a matter of luck than ability. Oh,
29. I
yes.
got 60.
Perfect. So what this means is that yes, you will probably be able to meet one of the older women who is wearing something very much as you describe, and it is a small featureless gold disc that she said dates back from when they closed up this tower. The people who closed up this tower, one was in her family, and the family has kept this thing that they brought back ever since. And she says that you are very lucky to spot it, because she usually has it covered because the priest doesn't like it at all. But they don't
can document it.
Oh
They
yes,
don't know
yes,
it,
you
yeah.
that's
Should I
definitely.
write it down or do we just know it?
Well, you can just know it.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's an indication, though, of some of that ancient history associated with that spot. Again, a little bit, it doesn't match the architecture.
Oh.
It's older than this. And you did not have much time when you were there.
No.
No.
You were fainting with pain,
Yeah.
and you ran up to
time at
the top for your super shot, and that was all we had. So you guys really have not had a chance to, for example, explore because you were in agony. You were in agony, and you were in spiritual crisis, and you were unconscious, and got your heart squeezed, and you were calling up the power of gods. Things were busy. So,
Kind of.
I was wondering,
Yes.
would my character have found any interest in going back to for looking for relics or
it seems to me
something,
that's your I say yes.
Yeah.
Of course, you get to say what your character does, but
Yeah.
considering the priorities and the way you have played it and so on, that does seem like the right thing.
Yeah.
Your whole point of coming here, and also Jovan, I mean, your point in coming to this area, you certainly discovered the dangers of messing around with the old gods, but on the other hand, this fellow here has saved your life with their gnome. If they want to get some artifacts, it seems only fair, perhaps. And also, and on the plus side, it's not like the people in the village want anything in there.
No. But a question about the old gods and the old religion. Do we consider it actually to be real, or do we just consider it being mythical? Like we were talking, if we were to talk about the Ark of the Covenant,
Do consider it
before the events of the last 2 sessions. Before the events of the last, right?
but
By now.
in general, I mean,
Well, it is a little bit like Atlantis.
okay, yeah,
So different people will have different emotional opinions about it.
It looked real.
Yeah, and also
It felt real.
it's also it also is given it is fixed cultural knowledge for everybody that the land used to not be separated the way it is now, and that all of your myths begin with that event. So the idea of the time before that is a matter of some romance, a matter of some interpretation, a matter of some fear.
so basically this event is our year 0.
Exactly correct.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And so there's plenty of things you have found prior to our adventures that could be claims or speculations.
Yeah.
But one thing that you had found or had followed upon was the potential of there remaining some kind of power, some kind of immense potential there.
What you say?
Obviously, we found it.
Yeah, and obviously you found it, so you have a little bit of a question,
we should
right?
be careful if looking for more.
I would like to go
correct.
and speak to the priest and ask for the
Right.
gnome.
Well, this particular priest is not of the Buried Secrets.
Okay.
Your Buried Secret Temple is back at your home,
Okay.
days and days and days away.
Does he have
weeks away.
anything else useful?
Well, you're an initiate of the Buried Secrets, and he is not going to just provide you with anything. And he is not that powerful a priest. Remember, he's young.
Okay.
So he's carrying out the routines and ceremonies like I talked about. He could probably, if he put his mind to it, after the ceremony, he can ask for a rune spell that he can grant. Particularly if you would submit to or would agree to raising your status in your cult and devoting yourself more to it to become an initiate, then you could be granted a rune spell from the cult.
Me.
Yes.
Because it says I'm a lay worshipper, so I'm
Correct.
not that active. But I'm also from a disfavored sect.
Yes, you are.
So I'm
But
guessing,
that's down in the south.
Yeah, so I'm guessing there is a lot of sects.
It is as the central. That's exactly right. My feeling was that since this whole area is pretty broad and there's lots of room, even though there is effectively a shared culture and religion, I will bet you that the people here worship the bright husband a lot differently than the people here.
But
So
what are my real emotional ties?
that's the question that we have, because I don't have answers for you. You kind of have to decide for yourself about what Jovan is like. So
Because I kind of figure this character is up here to get some kind of power, an item of power, get forbidden knowledge,
right.
to reclaim status in his homeland. And
I agree.
That doesn't really have to be, as long as it can get some kind of status, it doesn't really have to be within this favored sect, or does it have to be?
No, it does
That's
not.
really okay.
No, it does not. The compatibility, in many ways, if the representative of the bright husband here gives you the power, maybe the gods care less about these little ideological divisions than the people do, because it's just the same as getting it from the Sun Lord down south.
Yeah, but it's still a Sun Lord.
Yeah, exactly. And the priests down in the south might be very upset with you, but for some reason the Sun Lord wasn't.
Yeah, okay.
So that's my thinking. Yeah.
Does the priest know anything about the tower?
Well, he can. Yes, we have talked a little bit about it already with the history of the chieftain. He will say that the legends tells of how the chieftain that everybody hated so much, when he finally died, the sons that were going to, the children, the sons and daughter, were going to take over, and they were all worse than the father.
Okay.
And so when they buried him, they sealed the children up in there with him.
Sweet.
Yeah, like I said, it's one of these charming stories that you find, scattered around.
Yeah, I'm guessing you told me us about the Bat Lady. So
Yeah, I told you also about the other place, which was not just only a tower, but a bigger fort of some sort, or structured in the mountain wall.
And much more ancient.
Yeah.
Clearly, you had seen.
I even felt some strange powers.
okay. So basically what we got here is a settlement that could be the same age as this tower.
Correct.
Because it's not super old. And we have yours way off.
Yep.
That's totally different.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But somehow there was a connection that when they killed it there, it reappeared here.
Yeah, so it could, there is a connection that it could be built on all the ruins. Your temple for the wood lady, forest lady?
Yeah.
How old is
woman.
that? What do you say? Is that like ancient or?
No, she's one of the younger gods.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's not ancient.
And not only that, but that particular sect is just going to rebuild on a routine basis, and it's very simple, so it's not like there's much foundation
it's not
there.
really a temple, it's a shrine. You come there, you
Yeah.
contribute.
It's like a wooden totem, maybe
Exactly.
something like
Yeah.
that.
Kind of.
Yeah. I'm thinking
There's
of
a
the
little hut and
Japanese,
you're
the
good.
Japanese little huts, that they
Yeah.
have that you can take shelter in and stuff like that. Yeah.
So it's really simple, and it's
Right.
going to change all the time.
But my suggestion would be that after the celebration,
Mhm.
because we probably don't have time before,
Mm-hmm.
Wait it out.
healing during the celebration might be a
Excellent. Yeah.
bad call. We should definitely go up here and maybe at least mark out the pit of despair where the god is buried
Yes,
to
exactly.
warn others.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds fine.
Well then, we can take a look at some of the interesting details of the ceremony itself. I wasn't sure if we would do that tonight,